Okay, hi. Having another little personal vloggy thing going on here. This is just kind of reminded me of. Okay, so yesterday. Okay, let me remind. Yesterday, I saw an article on Cracked about the negativities of Amway or whatever you call it. So I mean, I don't like MLMs, pyramid schemes. They're a scam to me. And first of all, I want to just say the keywords I will be using to tag this video. I know I'm going to get people coming from these Amway Quixtar things saying, don't knock till you try it, blah, blah, blah. Look, I don't give a shit. This is just my personal experience with something that might have happened, but I caught scent of it pretty quick and I stopped it. So, anyways, I'm just giving you my opinion on my experience. So anybody who wants to tell me shit about Amway or how great it is, look, I don't want to hear it. Okay, so it started back when I was about 20 or 19. One of my neighbors in my apartment complex hit my truck and he dented it. And being the miraculous event that it was, the neighbor was nice enough to actually come tell me, or else I would have never known who it was. So he gave me his insurance information, and a day and a half later, something like that, the insurance guy comes to my house, takes pictures, blah, 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 blah. And then somehow we get to start talking, and I was telling him about my job, which at the time I was working at a call center. I was the breadwinner at that time, so I was just, I remember my schedule was like Sunday through Wednesday, 10-hour shifts every day. So that way I could have 3 days off, and then those 3 days off, I could hustle other jobs to make more money on my days off. So we were just talking about that, and somehow it came up that I knew his sister. I had went to elementary and middle school with his sister like all my life. I didn't know that. So he starts getting kind of excited, and he's like, well, hey, you want to make some extra money? I can show you a great way to build a business. And he went on to the Quixtar website, or Quixtar, I don't even know how you say it. So I was like, okay, I was very open-minded at the time, because although I know there were scams out there, I don't think at the time I realized that it was MLM. I was just like, okay, well, I'll check it out. So he was showing me the website and all the things you could buy, and he was telling me what he buys and all this stuff. And I honestly, I did not understand how it worked. He was just like, oh yeah, and you get people work under you, and then you blah, blah, blah. It's like a great business, and there's people that have quit their jobs and whatever. So I was like, okay. So he kept pushing it. He kept calling me, and eventually, and oh yeah, and he was telling me about his favorite products, which I did try out. I remember he gave me like some root beer energy drink, which I didn't like because I don't like energy drinks to begin with, and then some like peanut butter protein bar, which wasn't bad, but whatever. So he was like really adamant about me going to some conference that was coming up soon, and he wanted me to meet his mentors, which were like this husband-wife couple, and they were really, really nice, and everyone was like really, really pushy on the subject, although no one had mentioned to me sign up and it's this much. I guess they were just trying to get me to see what it was so I could maybe think that it was special, and then I would join. So they're really adamant about it. His mentors started calling me, and they're like, yeah, well, how are you doing? Blah, 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 blah. We want you to come to this conference, and the tickets are $20. And of course, at the time, money was just like so tight. I was just like, you know what? I can't. I don't even have $20 to spare. That's $20 I can go in my gas tank. Like, no. But they're like, no, you can pay us later. We'll pay for your ticket, and we'll pick you up, and we'll take you. So the conference was at this real nice hotel. I get there, and well, first I met them at their house because they wanted me to follow them. I don't know why. I had my own car. I don't know why I met them at their house, but I drove to their house, followed them to the hotel, and then we got to the conference room, which was just jam-packed with people. Tons and tons of people. I couldn't believe my eyes. And the whole time that guy that he wanted me to sit with him, the guy that's trying to get me into it, I remember he had a little cooler, and everyone was just like, I started to get kind of uncomfortable. I walked to the conference room and I started looking around and hearing the way people talked, and they were just too nice. And I can't really explain it any better than that, but it was too nice, and I was getting like this really eerie vibe about the place. So the guy signaled me to come over and sit with them, and he has a little lunchbox, the insulated, insulated lunchbox, and he had all the root beer energy drinks and his protein bars, and he was just like he looked like he was trying to have the time of his life in this chair, chugging all these energy drinks and eating protein bars. And he offered me one, and I was like, look, I don't like that. I don't like that energy drink, but thank you. And then the conference started, and now this is where it brought Erie to another level. Now, I'm a Christian. I believe in God. And again, I don't want to hear bullshit about people. Look, believe whatever you want to believe. This is my channel. I'll say what I want. Anyway, so I believe in God. I don't get uncomfortable when people want to pray, or if they're of another religion and they want to pray or do whatever. I don't, I just step back, let them do their thing, or I join in if they're Christian, whatever. I never feel odd or anything. I respect people's beliefs. But the way, and it was unexpected. I didn't know that they would do this. The whole conference started off with prayer. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I've never seen a business want to pray all together. I was like, okay, that's nice. And they were just praying, and it wasn't like other prayers that I'm used to going to church. There was something really weird about it, and I guess I want to use the word culty. It was just really weird. So that was number 2. Like, I was already getting uncomfortable. I was like, okay. And then the conference started, and they showed a video of some couple that they were on the diamond level or so. I don't know. They have like your levels of who makes the most money. And apparently these people were already bringing in like $1 million. So they flew in this couple, and they showed this video of the husband picking up his wife on the last day of her job. She was a nurse, because they were just making so much money she didn't have to work anymore. So, I'm sure that that's true and all, but I mean, just the way, like, when they would speak in the conference, everyone in unison would be like, yeah, all right, amen. Like, but they weren't even talking about Christian stuff. It was just how they got to that point to sell so much of whatever the hell they were selling or getting people to work under them, that they had been a success story. And there were all these people in there of different levels, and they were giving out awards for people getting into the next level or whatever. And it was just really weird, really uncomfortable. Again, the guy that was sitting right next to me, he just kept drinking those damn energy drinks. Like, he was just popping bottles. He was having the greatest fucking time of his life in that little chair. I guess trying to make it look to me that what he's doing is just so great. He's just full of joy. Whatever, it works for you. So at that point, I kind of realized what it was. And I wasn't interested. Obviously, I wouldn't have had the money to start up anyway, even if I wanted to, because I was just dirt poor. But so the conference ends, and I was going to meet up with that mentor couple that paid for my ticket, because I was going to pay them back. And I couldn't find them. I didn't want to stick around anymore because it was really, really eerie. And I just took off. And then I think one of them called me, and I was like, yeah, I had to take off. I couldn't find you. But, I'll call you tomorrow or whatever, so I can give you $20. And I'm pretty sure I tried to call them or text them, but I never heard from them again. I don't remember ever hearing from Mr. Happy Bottles ever again and his damn root beer energy drink. And that was just kind of like the slight introduction to that Amway Quixtar thing. And it was just really, really uncomfortable, and reading that Cracked article, it just made me realize, like, oh my God, I tried to get recruited for Amway. But of course, they never talked about money yet. I guess they were trying to ease me in slowly. But yeah, it was just really, really weird. I was very uncomfortable, and yeah. But I just brought it on because I read that Cracked article. So I mean, that's just my experience with it. Yeah, I want to use keywords like cult and eerie and strange and waste of money. But yeah, all right. So that's the end of my rant. I just had to say it because that Cracked article made me realize what they were trying to do to me at the time, and I wasn't having it. So all right. Well, thanks for watching. All right. Toodaloo.